These wraps are crispy, filling, and built around great macros for the week. What we're making is honey mustard crispy chicken wraps. This right here is all of the ingredients we're going to need for today's recipe, plus the addition of 5 tortillas or wraps of choice. Starting out, we're going to need 800 grams or 1.7 pounds of chicken breast. You can use chicken thigh and you can also use chicken tenderloins if you prefer. For this, I'm going to slice it in half and butterfly it, and then just slice this into 2 even-sized fillets. And then with those fillets, all I'm going to do is slice these into strips. Like I said, you can use tenderloins and you don't have to do this at all, but you will have to remove that little bit of tendon. It's not very nice. As for chicken breast, it's just nice and lean and so easy to work with. So just go through and continue with the remaining chicken breast, and once this is done, it can all be added into a mixing bowl. Add in 1.5 teaspoons each of onion and garlic powder and smoked paprika. Add in a pinch of salt, and of course some cracked black pepper, 20 cracks worth. With that in, use clean hands and just give this a mix around and make sure all of that seasoning is fully coated the chicken and none of it's stuck together. And we don't need to add any olive oil to this because this is the seasoning that's on the chicken underneath the coating. Now into another bowl, we're going to need 100 grams or 3.5 ounces of cornflakes. You can also use breadcrumbs for this, just use whatever you prefer. And whether you're using cornflakes or breadcrumbs, we're going to add 60 grams or 2.1 ounces of Parmesan cheese in there and just freshly grate this. You can also use the store-bought stuff for this recipe, doesn't really matter. Again, with clean hands, just get in there and start mixing this all together. And what we're going to do is just crush those cornflakes. We want them to be coarse. You can use panko breadcrumbs, which is a little bit more coarse, and you can use fine breadcrumbs, but that coarseness is going to get a really nice crunchy shell on the chicken. You can also add salt and pepper to this and all sorts of spices, even more smoked paprika, onion, and garlic powder. Just do whatever you prefer. Once they're crushed, you want something that looks like this. Now in a third bowl, we're going to crack in 2 whole free-range eggs. Add in 60 milliliters or 1/4 cup of light or full fat milk and give this a whisk with a fork until everything's combined. And you don't have to use milk if you don't want to. I just use it to extend it and get a little bit more out of those eggs. Now what I have here is 300 grams or 10.5 ounces of green cabbage. I'm just going to remove that core. And then with this, also going to just take off these layers. It just makes it a lot easier to work with. Use a sharp knife or a mandolin and go through and thinly slice. This is also known as chiffonade in the culinary world. If you don't want to use cabbage at all, you're more than welcome to use a lettuce mix because the dressing that we're going to make shortly goes with pretty much everything. And with that shredded, you should have a nice amount of cabbage like so. 1 large carrot can also be used. Just take off the tip and then slice it in half to make it easier to work with. And you can use a grater or a knife for this next step. Make a thin slice just down the side of the carrot so we can pop that out of the way and then the carrot can sit flat without wobbling around. Then we're just going to go through and slice this into thin strips. If you're using a grater, you don't have to do this. And this is a great way to practice those knife skills. Stack a few of those strips up together and then just go through and slice these into those thin matchstick cuts. This is also called julienne, and this mixes really well through the cabbage for those nice fine pieces. Cutting the carrot this way as well will last a little bit longer than grated because grated breaks them down and releases a lot of moisture and bruises the carrot quite a bit. So if you do plan on making this ahead of time, I do recommend you slice the carrot like this. In a bowl, add 1 cup or 240 grams of high protein Greek yogurt, and you can use regular Greek yogurt for this, it's completely fine. 1/4 cup or 60 grams of Dijon mustard, 1/4 cup or 80 grams of honey. Just make sure you add all of that in there. 1 tablespoon or 20 milliliters of apple cider vinegar. Add in a small pinch of salt and a little bit of cracked black pepper, 10 cracks worth. Give this a quick mix through, mainly concentrating on mixing that honey through everything, and we can double check it for seasoning, adding a touch more apple cider vinegar or salt and pepper if you think you need it. This right here is just a really simple honey mustard dressing. It goes with so many different things. You don't have to just use it for this recipe. And like I said, you don't have to use high protein yogurt. Regular is completely fine, and you should have something that looks like this. Now what we're going to do is take our chicken straight into the egg wash, just give it a nice little coating and then wipe off any excess. Straight into those cornflakes or the breadcrumbs, and just make sure you pat this really well and make sure everything is nicely coated, and then place this onto a tray, which is then ready to cook. So we'll go through and just repeat that with the remaining lot. And with that done, you should have a nice tray of crumb chicken all ready to be cooked. Now to cook these, I am going to be using a pan, but you can do it in an oven or an air fryer. If you're going to use either of those two, I recommend using an air fryer as it's a confined space and you're going to get a better crust on the chicken. I'll have details about that in the description. And for the pan, we're going to need about 60 milliliters or 1/4 cup of olive oil. I know people say don't cook with olive oil or extra virgin olive oil because it burns really quickly. It has a smoke point of about 210 degrees Celsius, and if you're getting your pan that hot anyway, everything is going to be burning, not just olive oil. As for this, we want to get this to about 180 degrees or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the oil's heated up, we're going to do this in batches. Just lay in the chicken. I'm going to do about 5 or 6 pieces at a time. I don't want to overcrowd the pan and cool the oil down too much. You can have multiple pans on the go if you like to do that, but pretty much just go to the size of your pan. Now the best part about these is because they're so small, they're going to take about 2 to 2.5 minutes on each side, or until they're nice and golden brown, obviously cooked in the center. Just make sure you keep it moving around, nothing's burning, nothing's sticking. And once you have that nice golden color, we can flip them over. And don't be afraid to flip them a couple of times to get that even crust all over. Now, after about 2.5 minutes on each side, you have that really nice golden crust. We can remove them and place them over a wire rack or onto some paper towel to drain off any of that excess oil. Let the oil come back to the correct temperature and then just continue along with the remaining batches. Now, once the last piece has come out, just make sure you turn the oil off, put it somewhere safe and allow this to completely cool down. You can then strain it and reuse that oil if, of course, it hasn't burnt or if it's not too manky and there's too many different pieces in there. With that all done, the chicken's beautifully cooked, it's nice and golden, it's nice and crunchy, and it looks and smells incredible. An optional thing to do is just add over a little bit of sea salt flakes too, just for that little finishing touch. And you can leave these whole or you can chop them up. For me personally, I'm going to leave them whole. Just before we put everything together, we do need to assemble our coleslaw. So with that honey mustard dressing, add about 2 to 3 tablespoons in there. You can always add more and you can add less, of course. I'm gonna add just a little bit extra. You will have some more left over, but we can use this to drizzle on the final product. Use clean hands or a spoon, use some gloves as well if you prefer, and just mix this all together. Make sure everything's nicely coated. Of course, you can have this as saucy as you like, and you can add a touch more salt and pepper if you prefer. Once you're happy with it, we can then pop this aside. Now to assemble, you can use any wrap of your choice. I'm using 5 12-inch white tortillas, and I'm going to add over about 1/5 of that sauce. You can use less or you can use more, just to spread that out at the bottom. Add over your chicken, should be about 4 or 5 tenders per wrap. Then over the top, we can add our coleslaw. Once you have it filled, just fold in the sides and then go straight over the top. Tuck everything in, that way nothing will fall out. Make sure those sides are tucked in again. This does take a little bit of practice, by the way. And then just roll straight through and close it tightly until you have a nice enclosed wrap. Now, once you have these assembled, you can leave them as is, or you can toast them up and then store them that way. For storage, they'll last 3 days in the fridge, fully assembled. But if you do plan on freezing them, I only recommend freezing that chicken for up to 4 months, and then you can defrost it and assemble them fresh when you need them. On to the best part, we can slice one of these open and see what we have in the center. And that looks absolutely delicious. This right here is the macros for an individual wrap. This recipe does serve 5, and like I said, you may be able to get a 6th out of this recipe. With all said and done, there's one thing left to do, and that is, of course, we can then dip that in the remaining honey mustard, and we can then dig in. The chicken's crispy, it's juicy, it's everything it should be. The coleslaw is really nice, just adding that bit of texture and freshness, and then the honey mustard just ties it all together, and it's an absolutely fantastic recipe. Don't just use it for this one alone, use it for so many different things. Beautiful wrap, and I cannot wait for you guys to try it.